Welcome, ladies, to HB Ministries, a place for women to believe, behold, and become all God has created you to be. If you're new, welcome. This is a channel, a movement for women to become strong in the season that they're in. And so if you're new, I welcome you. Subscribe. I do daily devotions and weekly Bible studies. The best bet would be to subscribe to heatherbaxter.com so you can get a weekly newsletter and get everything that you need. Sorry about today's appearance. I really don't care. And I think if we all know where we're at in March 2020, nothing matters at all. And I needed to go for a walk. I needed to come to a place which is behind me. It's my local track. I usually come here and I walk the track and I pray the lanes. I'm gonna leave the video above on what I mean by praying the lanes so you know a little bit about that. But it's just a place that I love to come. And I'll tell you, if we want to be honest right now, we're just in a tough place. And for that reason, I wore my grandma's pearls today because my grandma was one of the toughest ladies I ever knew. And no matter what she went through, she always had big bear paws, and everybody says that I have paws like my grandma, but she would fight through anything and she'd pull the family through whatever it needed to go through. And she went through some hard times. And if she was here today, I know how she'd handle it. She'd wear her pearls and she'd go to work every single day. And I get it. It's not time to bring the positively unicorn rainbow message with dessert and cherries on top that everything's going to be okay, because the reality is it's not for people. People are losing their jobs. School is out. Everything is shut down. People are nervous. People are isolated inside. Which is causing anxiety, depression, pretty much like the weather looks behind me. There's just this sense of gloom. There's this drizzle, but yet stickiness. I can't explain it. The air feels heavy. But in the midst of this, what I want to share to you is, first of all, today's message, which came from 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 12. And also that I don't know what your faith is or what you put your faith in. And this is a Christian channel. I put my faith in God. And that is the most powerful thing we need to be thinking about right now, because no matter how big or deep or pitiful your valley is, when you come out stronger, and you come out on the other side. There's just no doubt about that. I promise you that. And if you see behind me, there is a bleachers, and these bleachers are for witnesses, people that come and watch the runners. You are going to be a testimony someday, and you are going to be talking about all the runners that ran through this crisis. And you're going to bear witness to a younger generation. You're going to bear witness to someone. And the way you handle 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 12 is what you're going to share, in all honesty. And so I wanted to pull it out. Let me get my notes. Okay, I'm going to pull something out of my pocket and tell you the coolest story. Okay, here it is. I was praying about certain things, especially about Psalm 91, and I'm running. There's nothing out here. It's completely just quiet. And I was just praying about specifically my daughter, and all of a sudden, out of the sky, it came down like this and just floated right in front of me. No kidding. Just floated down. I don't know if anybody knows that, but it is, my hands are terrible, but whatever, a black and white feather. I mean, how perfect could that be? Just beautiful. So that's going to go in my journal, and I will tell you about today's message. Okay, I've got my phone cropped up on a fence, so it's kind of an awkward pose. But 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 12 says, we work hard with our own hands. When we are cursed, we bless, and when we are persecuted, we endure it. And I was thinking about this because this has a lot to do with Paul. And Paul went through a time where he was nothing but cursed and persecuted, but he constantly worked with your hands. And if you know anything about Paul, he was a tent maker. He did laborious jobs. He made tents. He was a tent maker. And if we go back to the rest of this, it teaches us, and Paul taught us, that no matter what he endured, he stepped up to the plate. And he used his hands, and he endured, and he stayed strong until the end. And he's such a testimony, and I wrote it down here. You know, right now, we're forming little churches everywhere we are. You are the stand. You are the people. And your church is formed wherever you can work with your hands and wherever you can bless and whatever you can do at this time. If it's blessing a neighbor, encouraging a neighbor, is it using your hands? Are you working in the medical field? Whatever it is, that's what we need to do right now. We need to do exactly what this says. We work with our own hands. Maybe God is separating us away from everything, taking the economy away, taking our livelihood away, taking people away, so we can learn to work with our own hands with faith, because that's the only way you're going to endure and get through persecuted times. That is the only way. And sometimes when God strips us from everything and only lets us lean in our faith, will we be able to endure? And so I began to think about that. Paul sustained everything because of his faith. He continued to be who he needed to be. He continued to be a witness, still is witnessing through the scriptures today. And when he was persecuted, everything that went on with him, he stepped up to the plate, and he constantly worked with his hands. He constantly did deeds. He constantly did services, and he never gave up, no matter what he went through. But this is the time we can't let Satan put the wind out of our sails. I mean, he's not going to bring us down. We are going to make it, and it's going to be okay. And honestly, I spent some time and I thought, you know, how are we to endure with our hands? How are you to endure? What are you going through that just seems like you're being persecuted on every end right now? Just know in the end, you will make it. So right now, you're on that track running. And it's not easy some days, but we have to endure and keep running mile after mile. Because in the end, you're going to be cheering other runners on. You will be in those stands cheering people on. You will be bearing witness to the younger generation. So it's so important. I don't know what God's doing in your life. I know it's not easy. I know this is doom and gloom. What a day, right? But endure. Keep working hard. Step up to the plate. I know it's a crisis situation, but we have to lean into our faith more than ever. I have nothing else to give or share but to lean into your faith. One other thing I do want to share with you at this time is I will be going on my website, and you can go to my coaching services, and I'm going to be cutting my coaching service prices in half. And so I'm going to be doing $47 an hour sessions, and that's amazing. So people that just need prayer, somebody to work through some things and strategize some things with, that's going to be available. And I just feel led to do that right now. So I just want to let you know to look forward to that. And if it's something you're interested in, by all means, fill out the contact form. If not, have a blessed day. Endure, work hard, keep running your race. Do not give up, and I will see you in tomorrow's blog. Bye-bye, ladies.